It's another big night at Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium where the lights are on and the energy is rising for a Sunset League showdown. Newport Harbor is home for a crucial matchup as they take the floor against Edison with pride and momentum on the line. This is a familiar battle between two strong programs, and with Sunset League play about to conclude its first full week, every possession and game matters. The Sailor faithful are ready, the players are set, and tip-off are just moments away. Live from Newport Harbor High School on TAR TV Sports, I'm Taryn Rodriguez along with Mrs. Angel, bringing you all the action tonight. When you look at this matchup and the way both teams have been playing all season, what stands out to you the most heading into tonight?
Great to be here tonight, Taryn. What stands out the most is that anytime these two teams meet, you know you're in for a competitive game. And with the way both sides have been playing this season, this one feels especially important.
Looking at this matchup, Newport Harbor comes in with a record of 13-5, and they have really been impressive throughout the preseason, showing depth and resilience against strong competition. Sunset League play, however, has been a little bit cruel to them as they're 0-2 and still in search of their first league win. The two league teams that they lost to were Huntington Beach last Saturday and Fountain Valley last Wednesday. They lost to those teams by, get this, a combined 3 points. Edison, on the other hand, is 15-3 overall and 2-0 in league with their wins being against Marina on the road and Huntington Beach at home. The Chargers have been consistent all around, finding ways to win games with both offense and defense. On paper, this shapes up to be one of the better games we've seen all season in this gym.
When you dig a little deeper, the individual matchups make this game even more intriguing. For Newport Harbor, Captain Owen Sakala sets the tone with his leadership, effort, and ability to impact the game in multiple ways. Antonio Hatsiris is a crowd favorite and always has the capability to hit threes to keep the momentum going. Edison counters with Derek Johnson, a true star who's averaging over 30 points per game and has the ability to take over at any moment if defenses aren't locked in.
Earlier today, we had the opportunity to sit down with Newport Harbor head coach Bob Trivio and talk about tonight's matchup and what will it take to be successful against this very tough Edison squad.
The other teams we've had in that the guys really like competing against each other in practice. I think if you come and watch our practices, we mix our teams up as often as we can, and our guys like playing basketball. And this team, as much as any team I've ever been around, just likes to play basketball. I love drills, I love coaching drills, but I think with these guys would rather do stuff in a 5-on-5 situation than 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. This team really likes just playing basketball. So we're really excited for the next 10 games, and then hopefully we can find our way into the playoffs and get a couple extra basketball games, because this team certainly enjoys playing together as much as any team I've ever been around.
Let's go to the keys to the game. My keys to the game are Newport Harbor playing lockdown defense and slowing down Edison's tempo. When Edison is able to speed things up and get into transition, they're very dangerous, and that often starts with Derek Johnson just pushing the pace. If Newport Harbor can slow the game down, communicate defensively, and force Edison to execute in the half court, they'll put themselves in a strong position to possibly win. The Chargers have scored 50 or more points in all but 2 of their games this year, and they're thinking league title here, so Newport Harbor has to be locked in defensively.
My key tonight is execution late in possessions and attention to detail. These teams know each other well, and last season's matchups showed how small mistakes can make a big difference on the scoreboard. Rebounding, taking care of the basketball, and knocking down open shots in big moments are going to be critical if either team wants to come away with a win.
Both teams split their league matchup last year, but Newport Harbor went 1-2 against Edison, losing in the tournament championship in the Tustin tournament, I believe. But both teams split their league matchups last year, so it's sure to be a barn burner. But we'll go to a commercial break, but after that, we'll get you set for tonight's tip-off between Newport Harbor and Edison right here at Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium. We'll be right back after this with all of the action here on TAR TV Sports. And welcome back to TAR TV Sports. We are live here at Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium for the Sunset League boys basketball showdown between Newport Harbor and Edison. Taryn Rodriguez here with Mrs. Angel. Here, starting lineups have been announced, and we are ready to get underway. Newport Harbor still in search of its first league win of the season, while Edison 2-0 in league, thinking league championship as they are right there with leader Corona Del Mar. As we're about to get underway here. Starting lineup for Edison: Derek Johnson, Major Smith, Jackson Oy, Devin Blake, and Teddy Goslow. Meanwhile, for Newport Harbor, their starters are Hudson Whitting, Tony Hatziris, Leighton Tribio, Owen Sakola, and Marcel Aguilar. So we are here. Nice little crowd here. And the tip is won by the Chargers. So we will get underway. And it is picked off by Sakola, as Newport Harbor will have its first possession here, trying to get its first points, as Newport Harbor lost their first two league games by a combined 3 points, lost by one off of a late three against the Oilers, while for Fountain Valley, they led by as many as 15, but only to see the Barons rally back in the third and fourth quarter. So Chargers will have the ball after an errant pass, so we'll take it from there. Here's Oy with the ball. Blake over to Johnson. Back to Blake. Being picked up by Salcola. Here is Goslau in the paint. Kicks it back out to Blake. Blocked by Saukala. And it's a foul as great defensive play by Saukala. And it is a foul on Devin Blake, so a little bit of a loose ball foul, but great defense by Saukala. Newport Harbor will kick it out. Whitting advances it up court. As we are a minute in, long three-pointer. Ka-ching!
Nice shot.
Antonio Hatziris from way downtown, all the way from Pacific Coast Highway, as Newport Harbor draws first blood in this Sunset League game. Here's Oy driving the paint, laying it up and in like icing on a cake. As Edison has their first points of the game. So here's a transition basket.
Nice
Good,
pass.
as that is Leighton Tribio right there on the layup. So that's a familiar last name we're all well aware of. Ball is in the hands of Goslau. Looks like they're running motion here. Smith with it, being picked up by Whitting. Gonna feed it to Oy. Oy getting a screen from Blake. And, everyone wants to travel, but it is picked up by Johnson. Johnson with the fake.
Oh.
No good on the layup. Rebound by Saukala. Newport Harbor looking to try to drive it up. And that ball is off the leg of Newport Harbor and out of bounds, as Tribio will look to go for sub. Looks like Kyle Horrocks checks in for Edison. And also checking in for Newport Harbor will be number 10, Ollie Aguero. As Johnson will advance it up the floor. Sailors lead 5-2, feeding it to Oy. Over to Horrocks. Back to Goslau. Over to Oy. To Johnson, being picked up by Aguilar. Here's Johnson with the step-back three. And then he gets fouled by Aguilar, so that'll be 3 shots for Johnson, as Aguilar is the guilty culprit. Johnson heading to the line for 3 free throws here after being fouled on a three-pointer. First one is no good, as the tar pit trying to get into the head of Johnson. Probably will be easier said than done, just because Johnson here, he's a stud. No better way to say it. Second free throw is good for the first points of the game for the senior, as Amari Leslie checks in for Edison. Only a freshman, standing at 6'8". As here is the final free throw for Johnson, as he takes 2 of 3 from the charity stripe to make it a 1-point game with the Sailors leading. As Aguero takes it up the court to Saukala, being picked up by Blake. Saukala with the move. Finger rolls it in. Look at a little George Gervany, as Newport Harbor will maintain that lead and go up 3. So here's Johnson. Looks like he got a little screen from Blake. Now he kicks it out to Oy. Oy with the cross. Going to Leslie. Back to Johnson. Over to Horrocks. Feeds it down low to Blake. Good ball movement by the Chargers. Blake muscling his way in. Blocked by Saukala, but it's out of bounds. Edison will retain possession with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Taking it out will be Horrocks. Will have 11 seconds to with his team. And he gets it off. That's Oy, gets bumped and fouled, as Leighton Tribio is the guilty culprit on that foul. As Bob Tribio, head coach, trying to say, did he really foul him? He did, as the first free throw is made by Oy. Got 3 points already, as only a junior, combo guard, 5'11". Here's Oi's second free throw. Good as gold. As Newport Harbor will advance it up the court, leading 7-6. Aguilar back to Aguero. That's another deep three for Hatsiris. Oh, it's good! Tony Hatsiris from PCH yet again. This kid's got Steph Curry range. As Blake kicks it to Johnson. Johnson thought about using the screen. Here's Horrocks from downtown. No good. Ball batted over to Aguilar. Aguilar trying to run the floor. Here he goes. Oh, blocked! And everyone's thinking that was a goaltend as Johnson used the trampoline, and he'll take a three. And that's good. Johnson getting it done from one end, and on the other, he answers with a three. And man, we got fireworks already here. So here's Aguero driving the paint, nearly had it poked away. Here's the Hatsiris layup, and just like that, Tony Hatsiris with 8 points already. It's Newport Harbor faithful getting energized. Here's a three ball from the Chargers, no good, as that was Horrocks on that attempt. Saukala will push it up the floor. Saukala only has 2 points. Here is Aguero laying it up and in. That is a layup for Aguero off the bench as Newport Harbor pushes the lead to 5. Here is Oi driving the paint, fakes it to Blake, blocked by Saukala. Ball is still loose and active, but it is out of bounds as Leslie just couldn't get to it. And into the game for the Sailors, Cole Hawk. Pair of subs coming in for Edison, as coming in is Mike Parks-Lee and Teddy Goslow. Here's Newport Harbor will take it up the floor. Kicks it to Saukala. Saukala with the open lane, and he gets fouled. I don't know if he was trying to dunk that one, but Saukala will get 2 shots as the Johns Hopkins commit is at the charity stripe. First free throw is off. Something Newport Harbor will need to take advantage of. They need to take advantage of all of their points, considering this is a high-scoring Edison team.
Definitely.
Scored all but 50, all but 2 games they've scored 50 points. They're 1-1 when they don't score 50, as Saukala splits the free throws. Here's Johnson being picked up by Aguilar. Here's the screen. Here's the switch. And Goslow loses it, picked up by Hatsiris. Going to Saukala. Saukala thought about the three, nearly traveled. As they feed it down low to Hawk. And it looks like we've got a jump ball. So arrow points to Newport Harbor side, and they will take possession. Keep possession. Taking it out will be Ollie Aguero. That goes to Saukala. Saukala is picked up by Parks-Lee. Deep three ball. No good. Rebound is taken in by Cade Eden as the Chargers are pushing it up the floor. Another deep ball for Johnson. No good. Rebound taken in by Hawk. Back comes Newport Harbor again. About 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Aguilar trying to put a little too much mustard on that hot dog, and Eden loses it. Saukala with it, and it looks like it's going to be another, it's a wrestling for the ball, and it's a jump ball. So now the ball arrow points to Edison's side. As Trivio asking for a kickball. Rule of that would be if the ball is kicked, then possession would go to the other team. Here's the instant replay on that scramble for the loose ball. So Edison will take it out. Johnson feeds it back to Aston, Jaden Aston. Back to Johnson. Johnson trying to put the moves on his man. No good from downtown. Aguero with the board. Backcourt press from Edison, proven to be rather effective. Here's Hawk trying to take off. No good, but a blocking foul is called. It looks like the guilty culprit will be Whitting. Not Whitting, Cade Eden. So 2 shots will be going to Cole Hawk. This is on the first attempt. Hudson Whitting back in for Newport Harbor. Hawk is the only one of 2 sophomores on this team, the other one being Aguero. Here is Hawk on the second free throw. And he makes it. So that is his first points of the game. Checking in for the Chargers, Jackson Oy. As taken out will be Jaden Aston. As Newport Harbor leads 16-9. Chargers in a little bit of a drought here. They could use a big basket right about now. As Oy with it, feeds it to Parks Lee. And this one's an errant throw out of bounds as Newport Harbor will take possession. Josh Beatty not thrilled about that one probably. Only in his second year as head coach for the Chargers, taking over for Rich Boyce, who is now fulfilling full-time duties as athletic director. As here's a layup from Saukala. And Newport Harbor opening up a 9-point lead here with Oy with it. About a minute and change remaining in this first quarter. Here's a 3-ball, no good from Aston. Rebound taken in by Aguilar. Aguilar transitions up the floor. Nice little crossover. Transition with the layup. And Edison will call timeout as Newport Harbor up 20-9 with 1:03 remaining in this first quarter. Setting the tone here, proving to everyone that that their first 2 losses in league were unfortunate.
Yeah, they're moving the ball really well. They're mixing it up. Everybody's scoring, which is really important. Taking it inside and shooting on the outside.
Absolutely. This Newport Harbor team is capable of hanging with anybody. They do have a big win over Servite in the Garden Grove Tournament Championship. They went 4-0 in the Estancia Shootout Classic. They had won 9 in a row before dropping its first 2 league games, one off of a late 3 from Huntington Beach, and then against Fountain Valley. They led by as many as 15, held Fountain Valley to 2 points in that second quarter. Barons responded with 27 points, and the Barons just took it from there. It's Edison still looking for answers here. Johnson with it, going to feed it to Aston. Over to Parks Lee. Oh, wide open for Oy. Oh, it's ripped away by Aguero. Aguero taking it up the court. He'll shoot. No good. Rebounded by Goslau. Chargers in desperate need of a basket to end this first quarter. And here's the man to do so. No good. Aguero with it. Shot clock and game clock are identical. Here's Aguero feeding it to Saukala, and it's a foul on Johnson. And that'll be Johnson's first, and that'll shut off the shot clock. So back in for Edison is Devin Blake. Blake, a football player for Edison, wound up winning the state championship last year, committed to Sacramento State. Here's Saukala to Aguilar. Aguilar up and under.
That was nice.
Acrobat right there as Edison will have the final shot. Looking to dig their way out of an early deficit. Johnson being picked up by Aguilar. Here's Oy with 11 seconds remaining. Oy trying to put the moves on his man. Here's Oy, kicks it back out. Going to Johnson. Johnson trying to put the moves on his man. Here's Blake in the paint. And that ball will not count, even if he had gotten it out, as that first quarter will come to an end. Newport Harbor setting the tone, leading 22-9 in this opening quarter. What a statement. We're going to take ourselves a quick little commercial break. When we come back, we've got the second quarter happening. Here are some highlights from the first quarter, as we'll be right back after this. You're watching TAR TV Sports live at Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the second quarter play between Newport Harbor and Edison in Sunset League boys basketball. Sailors lead 22-9 to start the second quarter. Good ball movement by the Sailors. 15 seconds remain on the shot clock. Here's Salkala driving the paint and laying it in as the Sailors, they caught a little bit of a case of the hot seas as they lead by 15. Looking a little similar to Wednesday's game when they went up by 15 against Fountain Valley. Let's see if they can maintain. Here's Aguero kicking it out to Oy. Aston kicking it out to Oy. Oy being met by Whitting. Here's Blake over to Johnson. Johnson being double teamed. Looked like there might have been some contact. Back to Johnson. Johnson trying to drive the paint with only 3 seconds remaining. And what a play by Derek Johnson. And that might have been just what the doctor ordered for Edison. Here's Hatziris with the ball. Another long three-pointer. Way off. Rebounded by Blake, kicked off to Johnson. Johnson advances it up the floor. Johnson trying to reignite the fire as he kicks it to Goslau. Goslau being met by Toribio. Goslau with the tight shot, and he gets that one to go. His first points of the game as Edison trying to whittle away at their lead here with 2 straight baskets after going quite a bit of a drought. As here's Johnson with the steal. Johnson nearly had it poked away, recovers it, and lays it in. And just like that, a 6-0 run by the Chargers. And looks like it's a delay of game warning. Checking in for Edison, Major Smith, and Mike Parks-Lee. Going in for Edison. Back in for the Sailors is Aguero. So Newport Harbor going to need to try to put out this fire, otherwise they'll have a repeat of Wednesday. There's a long 3-ball for Hatziris. Gets the friendly roll as that puts Hatziris into double digits with 11 points. And that snaps a little bit of a cold spell for Newport Harbor. Here's Johnson with it, being picked up by Aguilar. Kicks it down to Smith. Back to Johnson. Aguilar's all over him. Oy with it. Back to Smith for 3. No good. Rebound fought for. Taken in by Goslau. And the basket won't count as it is a loose ball foul. And the foul is called on Leighton Tribio as Cole Hawk will come in for him just to avoid foul trouble. It's his second foul. Team fouls reset after every quarter for those that are wondering. Here is Smith with it. Gets a screen from Johnson. Smith is all alone for a long 2. No good. Smith collects his own miss and gets the ball to go in. This Major Smith gets a major basket for the Chargers as he gets his first points of the game. Here's Hatziris, finds a wide open Salkala. Salkala with the lay-in.
That's good ball movement.
As he is up to 9 points for the Sailors. Newport Harbor leads 29-17. Johnson being picked up by Salkala, getting nearly doubled, and he's wide open. Goslau with the lay-in. Can't leave the big fella open. As now Hatziris with the ball over to Salkala. Salkala driving the paint. Gets the friendly roll as he cracks double digits. He is up to 11 points as the Johns Hopkins commit is proving why he's one of the best in the Sunset League. Here's Johnson with a deep 3. Short. Rebound fought for, but is off of the hands of Hawk, out of bounds to Edison. Edison will retain possession. Major Smith will inbound the ball. Tar Pit chanting. Here is Goslau kicking it over to Oy. Oy being picked up by Hatziris. Oy driving the paint, deflected. Here's The ball back to Oy, being picked up by Hatziris. Oy kicks it to Smith. Smith over to Goslau. Goslau loses it as Sakala poked it away. And here come the Sailors on the transition. Lays it up and in from Marcel Aguilar. That's his first points of the game. Marcel Aguilar, team who was named the tournament MVP of the Garden Grove tournament, helped Newport Harbor pull off a close win over Servite, a Trinity League team. As here is Parks Lee with it, and nearly taken away. Hatziris was a second too late to the party, as Edison will retain possession. Cade Eden checks in for Edison, as the Chargers will inbound it on the baseline, with Major Smith doing so. Here's Johnson. Here's his shot. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound taken in by Hawk. Saukala going to take it up the floor, being picked up by Goslau. Saukala's three-pointer, way off. Rebound taken in by Eden. Here's Johnson going to take it up the floor. About 3 minutes and change remaining before halftime. Johnson being double-teamed, kicks it back to Goslau, and that was perfect timing. He didn't want to force the issue to go 1-on-2, and he found the open teammate for the layup. Ooh. And that ball is nearly taken away, and it is taken away by Johnson, as Johnson with the easy layup for Edison, as that'll put him at double digits, as he has 11 for the Chargers. Newport Harbor might want to be careful here. Edison, being one of the more dangerous teams, has given Newport Harbor fits, as it's a layup for Marcel Aguilar, as that gives him his fourth point of the game. Johnson with it. Going to try to keep up his red-hot streak. Lean in, no good. Rebound taken in by Hawk. Here comes Saukala on the transition. A little bit of trickery, no good. Would have counted had it gone in, and Saukala would have wanted that one back, but he'll get two shots, as the guilty culprit on that foul is Jackson Oy. Here is Owen Saukala at the line. This is on the first one. I think that's the third missed free throw of the night for the Sailors. It's points like that that can come back to haunt you. And he misses both. Like I said, those are points that you don't want to waste away. As we are at the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, Smith being picked up by Aguero. Here's Eden. Eden thought about it, and unfortunately, he's going to hear it from the tar pit. And yeah. Anyway, Hatziris kicks it back to Aguilar. Aguilar being picked up by Goslau. Goes into the teeth of the defense. Saukala, baseline three. No good. Rebounded out of bounds. Last touch by Hawk. It looks like they just grazed his fingertips. As checking in for the Chargers, Jaden Aston and Kyle Horrocks. About 96 seconds remaining before halftime. Johnson will advance the ball up the court. No rush or anything. He's picked up by Aguilar. It's a three ball for Johnson. Splashes it in. As Johnson with 14 points. It's his second three ball of the game. As Aguero kicks it out to Saukala. Saukala over to Aguilar. Aguilar driving it into the paint. Goes off the Newport Harbor Sailors' leg and out of bounds. So Edison nibbling away at this Newport Harbor lead. Once a 9-point deficit. Now it's back to 9. Here's Johnson, no good. And Newport Harbor will have it with Hawk recovering the loose ball. Here's Saukala driving the paint. Thought about it, and the ball is poked away, taken away by Eden. Here comes Edison on the transition. Going to slow it down here. About 10-second differential between the shot and game clock. Here's Goslau, blocked but a foul. As Hawk got a piece of the ball but got part of the hand. as Teddy Goslow will go to the line to shoot 2. Combo. First one is no good. As checking back in for Edison will be Jackson Oy. Checking in for Eden, Teddy Goslow. Combo forward with 6 points. He's actually the second leading scorer on this Edison team for this game. And he splits the pair, giving him a lucky 7. A 2-second differential between the shot and game clock. Newport Harbor leading by 8 at his Saukala laying it in. Doing a little cherry picking, but it's not a matter of what you do, it's how you do it. As the shot clock is not a factor here, as Oy is picked up by Hawk. 10 seconds remaining in this first half. As here's Johnson trying to put the moves on his man. As Johnson thought about kicking it out. Here's Oy, picked up by Hawk. Oy blocked by Hawk! And we will go into halftime with Newport Harbor leading 37-27 as the tar pit was fired up after that block from Hawk. That'll be the end of the second quarter as we are at halftime. Newport Harbor leads Edison 37-27. Leading Edison at the half is Derek Johnson with 14 points. And also Owen Saukala leading Newport Harbor with 13 points. So we'll take ourselves a little bit of a halftime break. When we come back, we will have the second half between the Sailors and the Chargers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching Tar TV Sports live from RFK. Welcome back to the second half of the Sunset League boys basketball game between Newport Harbor and Edison. The Sailors lead 37-27 as Chargers will take the ball out. And it's been quite the barn burner. Edison tried to make a late push. Newport Harbor maintaining that double-digit lead. This ball is in the hands of Goslau. Over to Oy. Back to Goslau. In the paint. Kicks it out. Deflected. Nearly taken away. That is out of bounds. Whitting with the active hands. As Edison will look to reset. Get their offense going as Smith inbounds the ball. Over to Derek Johnson. Himself a great first half. 14 points. As he'll look to add to that. Getting covered by Saukkola, and it's a foul.
Nice.
As Aguilar wrestles the ball away and gets fouled by, looks like Johnson's the guilty culprit. And indeed he is. So it's a pushing foul, as that is only the first, actually it's his third foul. So if you get 5 personal fouls, then you foul out. It's not like the NBA where if you get 6, you're out. So back to the action. Hudson Whitting goes up the court. Ball's now in the hands of Aguilar, being bet by Johnson to Tribio for 3. No good. Rebound fought for, and it is out of bounds. Last touch by Edison. Saukkola with the active hands, working hard for the Sailors. As taking the ball out will be Tony Hatsiris. As it's an errant pass, almost taken away. As here's Aguilar kicking it out to Whitting for the baseline 3. No good. As Blake saves it, but to Saukkola lays it in. Difficult shot, but Saukkola gets it to go in. Saukkola with the awareness as Newport Harbor back up by a dozen. Here's Johnson trying to put the moves on Aguilar. Gets the screen from Blake. Kicks it out to Oy. Down low to Blake. Muscling his way in. Now he gets double teamed, and he nearly loses it as the ball goes to Johnson. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Here's Smith being picked up by Whitting. Down to 3. Smith gets smothered, but it's wide open to Johnson as he just gets it off. And that is a play Newport Harbor's going to want back, as that was amazing awareness by Smith. Aguilar being picked up by Johnson. Aguilar going in and out as Johnson gets the board. Here comes Edison on the fast break. Johnson for 3. You bet! And just like that, Edison, once down 15, has cut this lead in half as Johnson, with his third 3-ball of the night, has Edison with newfound life. Here's Hatsiris going to Whitting. Whitting sees an open lane, thought about passing it, and Whitting gets his first points of the game, as that's a much-needed basket for the Sailors. We are now 2.5 into this third quarter. Going to Smith, Johnson, who has had the hot hand. Johnson muscling his way in, and he gets the friendly bounce, as that might put Johnson at 20 points if my math serves me right. Unofficially, but still only a 7-point game. As Saukkola fouled by Goslau, as he'll get 2 shots. Saukkola will be at the line, leading Newport Harbor in the points department tonight. And the first one is good, as Cole Hawk comes in for Newport Harbor, while Kyle Horrocks and Amari Leslie come in for the Chargers. Saukkola committed to Johns Hopkins. Here's the second free throw. Good as gold. As that'll put him at 17 points for Newport Harbor by my numbers. As Newport Harbor still up 9. Goslau misses the layup, but it's rebounded by Leslie, but Leslie steps out of bounds. Aguilar will take it out to Hatziris. Hatziris over to Hawk. Aguilar picked up by Johnson. Here's the screen from Salkola. Aguilar getting doubled. It's a good double, and it's a good steal from Oy. And it's a loose ball foul as that stops the fast break. Unlike in the NBA, as Hawk will pick up the foul. It's 2 on Hawk, as Ollie Aguero will come in for Hudson Whitting. This Newport Harbor team has been really impressive. Had himself 9-game winning streak before starting off league. Lost their first 2 league games by combined 3 points. One to Huntington Beach off of a late 3, and then lost a 2-point heartbreaker to Fountain Valley, where they led by as many as 15. Here's Johnson for a 3. No good. Rebound fought for and taken in by the little guy, Hatziris. Hatziris will kick it out to Aguilar for 3. No good. Rebound. Last touch by Newport Harbor. That could have possibly been a loose ball foul on Aguero, so if anything, that might be the right call. Newport Harbor fans don't like it. Trivia is a little questioning that, but can't. We're not the refs. So here's Johnson. Here's Johnson getting doubled. Here is a 3 from Oy. Cut! Boom! And just like that, it's a 6-point game. That is Oy's 7th point of the game, putting him at 7 points. Oh! Nearly dunked it in by Salkola, but Goslau altered the dunk and prevents the easy deuce. So a good foul by Goslau, preventing the easy basket, as Owen Salkola will go to the line for 2. Oh, not even close. Into the game for Edison will be Andrew Hoffman seeing his first action. And the Edison fans giving it to Salkola. Missed free throws like that where you do not want to. And it's missed on both of them.
Yeah,
so
we've
Newport
missed.
Harbor, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying we've missed quite a few free throws. We got to put those in a close game like this.
6 free throws missed for the Sailors. So here's Oy kicking it out wide open for Horrocks. No good. That would have cut
rebound.
it to a 3-point game. But it's a steal by Johnson. Johnson, count it, and the foul. Derek Johnson, red hot, as he has a chance to make this a 3-point game. That's something you got to be aware of if you're Salkola. Got to be aware of your surroundings. And Johnson had the perfect steal. Here's his free throw. No good. Can't take advantage of the 3-point play opportunity. But still, he is at 20-plus points and counting. So here's Hatziris kicking it out to Aguero. Back to Hatziris. Hatziris kicks it to Salkola. Salkola, foul, no shot. As it's a foul on the ground. So the foul is on Andrew Hoffman. So first foul on Mr. Hoffman. So Edison with 4 fouls. Not quite at the bonus yet. It's a long 3 ball from Hatziris. No good. And it's a loose ball. Out of bounds, last touch by Newport Harbor. Looks like Hawk was the last one to touch it. So Edison with a chance to cut it to as little as 1. As Johnson taking it up the floor. Met by Aguilar. Here is Oy kicking out to Horrocks. Horrocks thought about it. Now he kicks it out to Leslie, the freshman. Back to Johnson. Johnson crosses over and gets it to go. Once down 15, Edison is now only down 2. So starting to look a little like deja vu for the Sailors from 2 nights ago. As no good, but the tip-in by Aguero, and Trivia will call timeout. So a much-needed basket for Newport Harbor, as one of the reasons why Trivio called timeout is to continue to have the momentum. The 30-second timeout, but back to Trivio calling the timeout. It's to gain the momentum, keep the momentum with his team, as opposed to Edison trying to run the fast break.
Yeah, you got to stop Edison's momentum and keep it with us. They were letting Edison get up a little bit. Interesting tidbit about Ollie Aguero, he's also a water polo player, not a combination you see very often.
Absolutely. A couple of dual sport athletes here on this Newport Harbor team. The other one being Will Harrington, who I believe it was Will Harrington. There is another player that does play football. So ball will be brought in by Edison, as Johnson will slowly advance it up the floor. Newport Harbor up 45-41. Once led by 15. Here's Aguilar. Now here comes the double. Here is Aston. Dangerous pass. Here's Oy. Back to Johnson. Johnson being picked up by Aguero. Johnson has the hot hand, and he does it. Three-pointer, and it's only a one-point game after Newport Harbor led by as many as 15. Here's Aguilar.
Nice pass.
Finds the open man for Aguero. So it's back-to-back buckets by Aguero. As the lead is back up to 3. But Johnson, this is the layup. Triple teamed, but a foul. Looks like the foul will be on either Salpola or Aguero. Aguero is the one with the foul. Only his first foul. Now the ball being taken out by Jaden Aston. But first we get a substitution coming in. Hudson Whitting will check in for Tony Hatziris. And that one is errantly thrown away. So Edison doing all that it can to try to claw its way back in. But turnovers like that aren't doing them any favors. So less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter as Aguero advances it. Aguilar picked up by Johnson. Aguilar trying to cross his man up. Now he gets doubled. Ball poked away and stolen by Oy. Transition. Misses. Oh! Have mercy, Derek Johnson! Throwing it down! And it looks like a technical foul. And it looks like it's technical foul for hanging on the rim. So I think in high school, it's 2 fouls if you get a technical foul.
2 shots in the ball.
Here is Owen Salpola at the line. He makes the first free throw. But back to that play. So it looks like Derek Johnson got called for a technical foul for hanging on the rim. You cannot hang on the rim for an extended period of time. So it's 2, as you said, Mrs. Angel, 2 shots and the ball. And I believe that's 2 fouls on Johnson. So
if it was just a technical, it just counts as 1.
okay, then thank you for that.
Yeah.
So I think it used to be counted as 2, but
if you get a foul and a technical, that counts as 2 separate fouls.
Right.
But it does count as a technical foul and a personal foul.
Got it.
So 2 technical fouls and you're out, 5 personal fouls and you're out.
All right, so back to the action. Newport Harbor has it after the 2 made free throws by Salpola. So here's Aguero being picked up by Smith. Here's the double. Whitting kicks it out to Aguilar, being picked up by Oy. Aguilar trying to cross his man up. Whitting to Aguilar. Aguilar with 10 seconds left. Lays it up and in.
Nice take.
For Aguilar as it's his 6th point of the game as we are under a minute remaining in this third quarter. Here's Oy getting the screen from Goslau. Back to Smith. Smith over to Aston. Aston for 3. No good, but the ball going over to Horrocks.
Well, we have to take advantage because that was Johnson's 4th foul, so they had to take him out, sit him for a minute.
Yep. 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Smith being picked up by Aguero. Ten seconds remaining, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now 10 seconds remaining in this quarter. Here's the 3-ball from Horrocks. No good. Rebound fought for by Saukkola. Saukkola trying to push it up the floor. Saukkola in transition, shoots. Got it!
At the buzzer.
Owen Saukkola at the buzzer.
That was great.
And Newport Harbor
management.
ends the quarter on a 6-0 run.
They
Perfect
knew
timing.
exactly how much time was on that clock.
And perfect timing because we have an interview with Owen Saukkola before the match. So we'll take it to you right here for the interview with Owen Saukkola.
Edison, it's all about defense, rebounding, and being able to play kind of a versatile offensive game. They're a really good team, have some really good players, and I feel like my size and rebounding will help us on the defensive end. And on the offensive end, hoping to look to, share the ball with my teammates, get everyone involved, and be able to beat them as a team. It's never one guy that can beat a team, kind of, just playing together with my team, sharing the ball, moving the ball, driving, kicking. That's, how we beat our league opponents because we're in a really tough league. It takes everyone to beat a team.
And welcome back to Tar TV Sports here in the Sunset League boys basketball game between Newport Harbor and Edison. Newport Harbor closed the quarter off on a 6-0 run as they lead 53-46 going into the final quarter. What have been some of the things that have stood out to you from this Newport Harbor team?
We've been doing well when we've been moving the ball, spreading the ball out, popping it back out, letting Tony and some of the guys hit those outside shots, but then also be able to get it inside with Ollie and Owen and them. And then we got to keep our defense. We can't let Johnson score because he can score from anywhere.
He's out there with 4 fouls. Newport Harbor will have the ball after making that amazing game-ending shot. So no good, but it is a pass.
Yeah,
no.
We got to put those rebounds in.
Taking advantage of the offensive rebounds like they're Moses Malone. Here is Aguero for 3. No good. Ball fought for by Hawk, and it's a loose ball foul on Hawk. As I think that's a little justified just because he was reaching above him.
A little shove in the back.
Hawk using that 6'4" frame. As Edison will have it. Johnson being picked up by Aguilar. Thought about using the screen. Here's Johnson driving the paint. No good, but it is a foul as Johnson will get 2 shots. As the foul is called on Marcel Aguilar. So Johnson. Here's Derek Johnson with over 20 points, leading all scorers, keeping pace with that 30 points per game. Makes the first free throw. As Newport Harbor will get a couple subs in. Hudson Whitting and Leighton Trivio check in for the Sailors. Checking in for Cole Hawk and Ollie Aguero. Here's Johnson's second free throw. Over and good. So Johnson buries another pair of free throws. Getting close to 30 points now. Just a talent unmatched. Here's Whitting with it. Picked up. Here's Aguilar being picked up by Oy. Whitting. Whitting thought about it, and the ball is out of bounds. An errant pass. Last touch by the Sailors. There's substitution coming back in for Newport Harbor. Ollie Aguero. Ill-advised time to have a turnover like that. As Johnson will slowly take the ball up the floor, being picked up by Aguilar. Johnson for 3. In and out like a fast food restaurant. Way downtown for Oy. No good, and no one will be able to pick up on that loose ball. Newport Harbor will have it. A minute has passed in this fourth quarter. This quarter could feel like an eternity for a bunch of basketball fans. Here's Toribio for three. Nice. Flash! The apple does not fall too far from the tree as Leighton Toribio gets it from his dad, Bob. So here's Johnson, picked up by Aguilar. Over to Smith, wide open for three. You bet! And Beatty will call timeout. That looked like the same spot where Newport Harbor allowed that three-pointer against Huntington Beach, which saw the Oilers win. But Edison, now at 51 points. Newport Harbor's 56 has them up 5. As Josh Beatty, in his second year with the Chargers, taken over for Rich Boyce, who's now fulfilling full-time duties as athletic director. Bob Toribio, 14th year as head coach, 24th year overall with the Newport Harbor boys volleyball program as a coach, second longest tenured head coach behind Nick Racklin of Marina, who has him beat by just 1 year. Talk about both of these teams, two different sides of the same coin. Newport Harbor 0-2 in league, but some can say they could be 2-0. Edison wound up beating Marina by 5, and then they just blew out Huntington Beach 2 nights ago. Between they and Corona Del Mar, they're the only teams undefeated in Sunset League play. As Salcala will take the ball out, give it to Aguero.
Newport's just got to play smart.
It's a backcourt trap, but it's out of bounds as Smith nearly stole it.
Right as I was saying, we got to make sure we are careful with our passes, bring the ball up the court in the press. No silly turnovers.
Teams will often deploy a backcourt trap in this situation to try to generate some backcourt pressure. Here's Aguilar. Feeds it to Toribio. Toribio, alley-oop, no good. As it's recovered by Aguero. 15 on the shot clock. Toribio with it being met by Smith. 10 on the shot clock. As here's Aguilar trying to go Euro step. No good. Ball batted around but taken in by Johnson. Edison has a chance to get this within a single possession. Johnson for three. Bang! Another three ball for the senior, and it's a 2-point game. Ball deflected, still Newport Harbor's possession. And as it's a steal, and here's Johnson, exploit number 1. No technical foul here. As we are tied at 56. Toribio thought about a timeout, but will not take it. As here's the other Toribio, kicks it out to Aguilar. Salcala with it, but he gets fouled. And who's the foul on? That's the million-dollar question. No, that's not 6-7 by what the official did. That is Teddy Goslau with the foul. Shooting foul, so Salcala will shoot 2. Another missed free throw. Probably like the 7th or 8th missed free throw for the Sailors. As in the game for Newport Harbor, Cole Hawk.
Free throws can make or break a game.
This is why, probably one of the reasons why Newport Harbor is 0-2, but there's a lot more than that. As Salcala makes the second, and Newport Harbor regains the lead at 57-56. With about 5 minutes and change remaining. Plenty of time for both of these teams. Here is Aston trying to go into the paint. Here's Smith. Back to Aston. Going to Johnson. Here's the screen. Not against it. Goslau. Baseline jumper for Smith. Ooh. Gets the friendly bounce. And just like that, for the first time since the first time tonight, Edison has the lead. Here is Aguilar, misses on the layup, but he gets his own miss and lays it back in. So that'll give him 8 points, and we are tied at 59 apiece.
Like you said, plenty of time on the clock. Newport Harbor can't lose their head.
Here's Aston, thought about a three, and that one goes out of bounds. And Edison's gonna want that one back. So Aguilar will take it out. Here's Salkala. Here comes the backcourt trap. And they get it up the floor. Here's Aguilar. Being picked up by Oy. Long three ball from Hatsiris. No good. And it is out of bounds. Last touch by Hawk. Trivio trying to make a case that Hawk was fouled. That could have been dangerous because that was on Johnson. That could have been in for him. As Kyle Horrocks comes in for Edison, and Mike Parks-Lee also checks in for the Chargers. Here is Johnson with the ball. Over to Oy. Parks-Lee with it. Over to Smith. Smith trying to find the open man. Over to Johnson. Met by Aguilar. Johnson spin cycle. Layup is good. Edison back in front by 2. As this has become a high-scoring affair. Here's Aguilar. And it's a foul on the ground. Leave the guilty coat. So the foul is on Jackson Oy. Only a second. 3:19 remaining in this contest. As taking it out will be Ali Aguero. Here's Aguilar at the top of the key. Over to Aguero, met by Johnson. Here's Salkala for 3, no good. Fought for by Johnson. Edison pushing the floor. Over to Smith, thought about the 3. He's going to drive it in. No good. Tipped in by Johnson.
He is everywhere.
And Josh Beatty will call a timeout. This kid has been unbelievable. And the Edison faithful loving what they're seeing here as their team is less than 3 minutes and change away from being 3-0 in league. A little bit of a game reset. Edison with 2 timeouts remaining. Both teams with 2 fouls. Newport Harbor with 4 timeouts remaining. But the main story is Derek Johnson just absolutely been everywhere. Just when you thought he was in foul trouble and they were going to have to veer away from him, they just can't get away from him. So by my count, Derek Johnson has 41 points for Edison. That's by my count. I could be wrong, but I've been pretty much dialed in here. Biggest lead of the game now for Edison as Newport Harbor faithful are getting a little worried that this could be just like Wednesday. Here's Salkala. Being met by Goslau for 3. Got it!
Nice.
Owen Salkala from downtown. And it's a 1-point game. Johnson will take it up with 2 minutes and change remaining. Newport Harbor faithful calling for defense as Aguilar picking up Johnson. Edison trying to milk the clock as much as possible. Here's a screen. Here's Smith for 3. He's got it! Back to a 4-point game as Smith has his 11th point of the game. As here's Aguero with it, trying to drive the paint. Hatsiris from downtown. No good. Rebound taken in by Johnson, and he's fouled. Probably to slow down the momentum, but Newport Harbor.
We have to be careful. We don't want to just chuck up threes because we think we're down. 4 points is only 2 baskets.
Still anyone's contest. It looks like it's a timeout called by It's like timeout called by Newport Harbor. Nice. Edison up 66-62 here. Chargers trying to go to 3-0, trying to stay undefeated in league play. Newport Harbor still trying to get its first league win after 2 heartbreakers. Looks like what do you do with your Newport Harbor? Edison has the ball.
You got to get a quick stop. Don't let them use the whole 30-second shot clock, but then when you get the ball back, you got to play smart. Like I said, it can't be just a rundown. I mean, if you're open, take the 3, but you still have 2 possession time to make good shots. You need to choose the shots that are going to go in.
Sorry about that. 1:58 remaining in this contest. Chargers up 4 as Smith will inbound it to Johnson. Johnson picked up by Aguilar. As you said, look for Edison to try to use up a majority of the clock.
You need to put pressure, but you can't let Johnson make a good move.
Here's Smith being picked up by Hawk. Smith has 3 threes. Johnson with it at the top of the key. Johnson laying it up and in. 43 points for the senior as it's a 6-point game, but Hawk will lay it in for Newport Harbor. As Newport Harbor still down 4, but time is not on their side. Now we got to get the ball back. Edison's going to use as much of their shot clock as they can. Yep, coach just told Ollie to step up. Here's Johnson being picked up by Aguilar. 1 minute remaining in this contest. Here's Johnson. Johnson going to try to drive the lane. Thought about. Good defense by Aguilar. Fight for the loose ball picked up by Newport Harbor. But will it be a jump ball? It is. And the arrow points to Edison. And that will be where the ball stays at. Here's the replay. Good defense by Aguilar, but the ball was fought for by Johnson, so good hustle. What we call following your shot. So now you got to make the decision if you're going to foul on the inbound. It's like it's a timeout by Newport Harbor. .7 seconds remaining. Edison up 4. Newport Harbor trying to avoid a 3rd straight loss. They can ill afford another loss in league, especially with how competitive it is. Only the top 4 teams advance. Last year, Newport Harbor need to have an at-large as Edison calls timeout. But back to Sunset League. Only the top 4 teams advance to the playoffs. It looks like Los Alamitos is looking like they're back in form. Edison looks like a top 4 team. Corona Del Mar has been dominant. So the final spot will be decided between Huntington Beach, Marina, Fountain Valley, and Newport Harbor. A win like this would definitely be huge for the Sailors. Yeah, you need to get a win in the first round. For sure. Especially since Newport Harbor's league games have all been at home. So if they can't win here, it's going to be tough sledding winning the second half. Got another game Monday at Marina. Here's Johnson being picked up by Aguilar. As Aguilar will get called for the foul. Four fouls as a team on the Sailors. 3rd on Aguilar. So not quite in the bonus just yet. Smith will inbound it to Oy, and Oy will get fouled by Aguero. That is foul number 5 on Newport Harbor. Only the 2nd on Aguero. This is when when they made this switch was my last season coaching, and it made me miss the 1-and-1. Makes it much harder in this situation at the end of the game. Yeah, 2 shots for Oy. First one is good. Oy up to 8 points for the Chargers as Leighton Tribio back in for the Sailors for Cole Hawk.
Now you have to have your 3-point shooters in.
Like I said, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Bob Tribio did set the record in terms of made threes. As Oy makes the second, giving him 9 points. Newport Harbor has to hustle up the floor.
Move quick. Kick
And
ball.
it's a kick ball on the Chargers. So the ruling on that is, as I mentioned earlier in the game, if you kick the ball, then the ball, and you're on defense, the ball still stays with the offense.
And it resets the shot clock.
Here is Aguilar.
Got to get a quick shot.
Aguero over to Tribio. Tribio for 3. Off the back iron. Rebound taken in by Aguero. Shot clock is turned off. Here is Aguilar for 3. That's
go. Now you gotta
good.
get-
And Tribio will call timeout. Bob Tribio, for that matter. As Newport Harbor not quite done yet. It's a 30-second timeout.
So now you got to pressure. You try and steal on the inbound. If you don't get the steal, you got to foul. Do exactly what you just did without hoping they don't make those free throws.
Marcel Aguilar with 11 points. One of 3 Sailors that are in double digits for the Sailors. The other 2 being Tony Hetziris and Owen Salkala. Meanwhile, for Edison, Derek Johnson with a whopping 41 points. The other double-digit player for Edison is Major Smith with 11 points. Then you got 9 points for Jackson Oy and 7 points for Teddy Goslau. So this has been the Derek Johnson show. By the way, my numbers are unofficial. So here's a long pass to Johnson. Johnson going to run the floor and lay it in. Newport Harbor's got to go quickly if they want to have any shot of winning. Salkala for 3. No good. As the ball being recovered by Salkala. He is no foul. Looked like Johnson had a little bit of some words with Salkala. So Newport Harbor faithful not happy, and looking like it's going to be an 0-3 start for the Sailors, barring some sort of miracle. So here is Major Smith at the line. Here's the first free throw from Smith. Good. That'll put him at 12 points as Leighton Tribio back in for the Sailors. As Edison will be going back to Huntington Beach with a 3-0 record in league. Unless Newport Harbor can pull off a Tracy McGrady miracle. Second one is good, and that'll put Smith at 13 points. Here's Aguero to Aguilar for 3. No good. Tip-in, no good, but a foul. It looks like it's a loose ball foul on the... No, it is a foul on Edison as Teddy Goslau will... It's a shot. The shooting foul. So here is Salkala at the line. First one is good. Here's Salkala's second free throw, and he tried to bank it off the rim and get a quick rebound, but the rules say the ball has to touch the rim, otherwise it is a violation on the second free throw. Here is Edison taking the ball out, and they are playing the foul game here as Jackson Oy will go to the line. Here's Jackson Oy at the free throw line, trying to get to double digits here. See if he gets it with this free throw. No good. Edison will. There is one more free throw for Oy, and he gets to double digits. Edison up by 7. Biggest lead of the game. Deep 3 for Hatsiris. No good. Here is Hawk with the rebound, and he gets the last bit of basket. So that'll make the score a little bit more respectable, but time is up as Edison takes the win, winning 75-70. After being down by as many as 15, the Chargers make an outstanding comeback. As get some words here, as Devin Blake needs to get away from the tar pit. Tar pit needs to understand that this is not right. This is not right. No, this isn't right. Newport Harbor's, the tar pit's got to understand that this is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely bad sportsmanship by the tar pit. Just let everything go. This is just unacceptable right here. Absolutely unacceptable. As that'll be it right there. Unfortunate anticlimactic to the game, but back to the win for Edison. 3-0 for the Chargers as they are still thinking league title here, but it's another tough loss for the Sailors as we will be getting an interview with Tony Hatsiris here. So we'll take it down to Tony Hatsiris following this.
At the end of the game, tough loss, great control over the game. What are your thoughts? What's going on?
You know, I thought we battled really hard. We came into this game very well prepared for a great team, and I thought we did our best and ended up coming up short, but that's all we could do.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you.